Hello everyone, I'm Nicole from Neon Shed and today I'm chatting with Jennylee from Breathe and Be You. So October is Mental Health Month and the theme this year is Tune In. So tuning in helps us reduce stress and worry and helps us make more effective choices as well. But stress and anxiety are normal when, for example, we've got to have a difficult conversation with a colleague or family member, when we're going for a job interview, or when we've got a public speaking engagement. But we don't want it to get chronic and take over our bodies and minds. So I found a number of ways to reduce my anxiety and increase in confidence over the years. And one of them is breath work. And I wanted to chat to you, Jennylee, to understand more about it. So thank you so much for coming on.
You're very welcome, Nicole. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is breath work? How would you explain it?
Oh, well, that's a really interesting question because breathwork is such a generic term these days. And really, breathwork is about being able to manipulate your breath. So there's lots of different ways to do that. And I guess I'll put them into three categories. The way we breathe one would be I call futile breathing, or our basic survival type breathing, which all of us do because we have to do that, otherwise we wouldn't wake up in the morning. And it's an unconscious, involuntary thing that our body just does. And most of us don't do it very well. The second level would be conscious breathing, which is really bringing your awareness to your breath and consciously manipulating the way you breathe in the moment. And we can talk a bit more about that as we go through. And then the third level, and really that's around mindfulness and coming back into the present. And then the third level would be conscious connected breathing, which is really the therapeutic use of your breath to really dig deep into your cellular memory of your body and release old tensions and old trauma and old emotions. Yeah, so it's a really broad term.
Yeah.
And depending where you look and what you're looking to achieve, you can do lots of different breathwork activities.
Wow. Okay, you learn something new every day. I thought it was just one thing, but the way you explained it is, really interesting. I understand why you said it was an interesting question.
Yeah.
So how can it help people with their mental health?
Well, it's a fantastic tool for that, and I love breathwork because it's breath. I mean, we carry it around in our toolbox every day, and most of us don't use it properly. So when we are affected, our mental health is affected, or our mental well-being is affected, like we become stressed or we become anxious, or we're in overwhelm, we tend not to breathe properly, and most people don't notice that. But the first encouragement, I guess, is to start coming into awareness of how you breathe. Really start noticing how you breathe day to day and minute to minute. It takes practice. And you can use your breath to bring down your heightened nervous system in the moment. So that's the conscious breathing part. And we'll do some exercises at the end to show people how you can do that. And then you can also, for long-term mental health and I like to call it improving your mental wealth, is to do the conscious connected breathing, which gets rid of all that old stuff that's stuck in your body and that tends to come out inappropriate times in your present life. Those times when we go, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm reacting this way to something, and you find out later that it's because it's something that happened a long time ago, and you're holding that traumatic memory around it, or the emotional tension around it. So in every aspect, your breath can help you with your mental health, in the prevention and in the working on old stuff as well.
Yeah. Okay. So the theme for Mental Health Month this year, tuning in, is so relevant to everything that you're saying right now. And they share on their website. So tuning in means being aware of what's happening within you and around you, in the world around you, as you've just said. So how does breathwork help people tune in and be present in the present moment?
Yeah, I think it's worth talking a little bit about what really does it mean to be in the present moment.
Yeah.
And we say in the breathwork, we say in the breathwork world that your present moment or your future is actual incremental moments of now. So every time you do something in the present moment, you're actually influencing what's going to happen to you next. And as you move forward, moment by moment, you actually build your future, right? So most of us live either, we actually live in the present moment, but whether we're actually really landed in the present moment is the real question, because most of us are either comparing what's happening in the present moment to something that happened in the past and feeling guilty about it or wanting to change it, or it's not going to work out for them, and then making some assumption about how that's going to impact your future, and you start to worry about it. And this is where people's anxiety can come to a real fore, because we compare the past to now and then worry about the future because we think the past is going to impact how we do the next moment. Yep. So the opportunity with breathwork is, does that make sense? Yeah, so the opportunity with breathwork is to stop and take a breath and really land in the moment and really understand that you don't need to bring forward the past, and you really don't need to worry about the future because the future hasn't happened yet. And if you think about the future being incremental moments of now, then as humans, we really do have control over how we can create the future if we just keep coming back to the present.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept to grasp. And the beauty about breathwork is that by bringing your awareness to your breath, you actually bring yourself into the moment in that moment. And our body and bringing an awareness to your breath is really about connecting with your body as well, because your body is a huge library of everything you've ever experienced in life, and knows so much more than what we can recall consciously. So if we take a moment to breathe in the moment and connect with that, then we can change the way our future is and our present.
Yeah, wow. I know for myself that when I'm anxious or nervous about something, I'm breathing up in my chest, and you don't realize it until you do tune in and go, okay, what's going on here? Why am I feeling like this? And I know because I know I attended one of your breathwork sessions, which was amazing, and you spoke about breathing into your stomach and breathing into your belly, and it really slows everything down, and it really brings you back to that moment. So I have been doing it for a little while now, and definitely feel the benefits in myself, and it definitely feel tuning in as well.
Well, you can imagine if you're always just breathing from here up, from your chest up, you're actually only using about 1/7 of the capacity of your lungs to start with. So you're just doing yourself a disservice by not using your full lung capacity to breathe. It's a bit like, putting the wrong fuel in your car, or having a blocked filter, in your air conditioning or something like that. It just doesn't work at optimum capacity. So purely just for, taking that time to take deeper breaths, rolling your breath down your spine into your belly and then back up into your chest, and really allowing your chest to expand as you breathe. Just by doing that enhances your life in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it now. So other than breath work, what do you do personally to reduce stress and anxiety?
I love to walk in nature. It has to be my go-to place, and if I can, and just my whole demeanour changes, I think, when I walk in nature, and especially if I can take my shoes off.
Yeah.
And then I also breathe in nature as well, so that's an added benefit. But just listening to the sounds, walking through nature, touching the trees, that kind of thing, that I do daily. I like to do yoga. I like to walk in general, so I do a lot of walking, and walking, my chiropractor says, is the best thing for your skeletal system, is to walk.
Okay.
and so many other aspects about your well-being as well. Because I guess about when it comes to mental health, if we're if we're feeling good in the body, if we're emotionally balanced, if we can breathe properly, if we have some spiritual connection, and I don't just mean to a religion, I just mean to something greater than yourself, and your energetic field is healthy, then our mental health has to be higher.
Yeah.
So working on all those elements is really important for your mental health. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm excited about the practical experience we're going to go through. But before we get to that, I know that you do breath work, but can you explain to people that might be looking at this for the first time, what are some of the services that you provide?
Okay, so my main mode is conscious connected breathing. So I'm with the therapeutic or the longer term use of the breath to really understand yourself as a person, is how I would put it. And, so that's taking the dive into, what makes you tick in terms of how you react to things, how you relate to things, clearing out that, emotional trauma from the past, understanding your belief systems, all that is what I work with. And so people often come to me with overwhelm, they're feeling lost, life's just not working, something's missing, and they can't put their finger on it, that kind of type thing. And, we can work with addictions and a whole myriad of things. So I do, at the moment, I've got a great conscious leadership program, which combines metaphysics and emotional intelligence with breathwork for aspiring leaders. I've got a 12-week program. I do one-to-one sessions on breathwork. I do group work with breathwork. And lots of different services.
Okay, and what's the
Those are
best
just
way
some of
that?
them.
Yeah. Okay. What's the best way that people can get in touch with you?
Through my website, breatheandbu.com.au. I've got a Facebook page of the same name. You can go to either of those places and click on, book a call or book a 15-minute chat with me, or a 15-minute check-in with me. It's a complimentary thing that I offer, just so people get more information, see how it might be relevant to them, and get a feel for whether breathwork is the thing that they're looking for in their lives.
Yeah, okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for that. We were chatting earlier to say, I thought I knew about breathwork, and hearing from you now, I realize I know nothing. But just to close off, I'd really love to go through that practical experience that you were talking about. And I believe you have one to help people tune in, no matter where they are. So can you explain that a little bit and take us through it?
Yeah, well, I'll give you two examples. One is the kind of 1 minute check-in. Like, this is, if you're you can do this anywhere. You can do this walking to your car. You can do it, in between meetings, as you're walking into your building, like you're getting into the lift and you have to go somewhere. And it's really just bringing your awareness to your breath. In other words, so doing the mentally inward, going, I'm stopping now and listening to my breath. And nobody outside of you needs to know you're doing this, because you'll just look normal, like you're breathing. And then taking a deep breath in. So rolling your breath in, breathing in, rolling it down the back of your spine into your belly, allowing your belly to expand, and then rolling it up into your chest, into your heart. So really allowing your chest to expand, and then breathing out. And what that does is brings you right into the moment. It connects you with your body. It connects you with, getting that full breath, and allows your whole body and your whole system to just take a pause for a moment, and really lowers your, any attack on your nervous system that might be happening in terms of a heightened awareness or something like that. or heightened stimulation more than anything else. So, and doing that a couple of times, doing it, you know, you might be able to fit 3 or 4 of those in a minute, that type of breathing. One of the interesting statistics about breathing is that there's a study in America that said that the average person breathes 12 to 15 breaths per minute, and that's supposed to be today's normal. I would suggest that that's not previous normal, because people who are aware of their breath can get, it's about quality, not quantity, so you can get more or a better breathing system by slowing your breath down and getting less breaths in a minute. But the key is fuller and deeper. So the second exercise you can do is really an extended version of the first one. So taking the time before or after work, maybe driving in the car, to really lengthen your breath out. So by lengthening your breath out, it forces you on the next breath to take a deeper breath. So if you are sitting and you normally can count to say 3 or 4 on the way in on your breath, and then on the way out, rather than doing 3 or 4 out, you start to lengthen that. So you breathe in for 4, you might breathe out for 5, then you breathe in for 4 and you breathe out for 6. And the goal is to get a 2-to-1 ratio. So you're breathing in for 4 and breathing out for 8. And it shouldn't feel difficult, or if it feels difficult, just, you know, shorten the number of counts you do, if that makes sense. Yeah. So those 2 things, and I call that conscious breathing. So those 2 things daily will help you prevent or help you in the moment when you're in overwhelm or feeling anxious, or you can feel that anxiety rising even. Yeah.
I was just doing it as you were saying it, and I feel much more zen and calm, and my hands are a little tingly as well, so it's lovely.
Yeah.
But I do know right now, yes, October's mental health month, but we have been through a really stressful year. So breathwork and your services seem like a great option for someone who is feeling overwhelmed. So if anyone out there wants to get in touch with Jenny, I will, Jennylee, I will be putting your details as a link on this as well, everywhere that it'll be shared. So it'll be, easy to get in touch with you. But thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, Jennylee, and enjoy your October Mental Health Month.
Thank you. And it was lovely to talk to you, Nicole, and I love the initiative that you're doing around this work. And I just quickly read the blog that you put out, and I'll be taking out some of those hints myself, I think.
Wonderful. I'm glad it could help. We could help each other today.
Yeah. Excellent. All
Thanks,
right.
Jennylee.
Thank you.